What's up, everybody? This is Jose Gagnon, the random guy, 75, here again today. And we are now on episode 12 of the season 4, Thomas the Train, Everything Wrong with Commentaries. And like I said, this one is called SteamRoller. And we'll be, like I said, meeting another new character in this season that's called George, and he's a steamroller who hates the trains for some reason. And he's actually going to get into a fight with Sir Handel, because then Sir Handel is going to be bragging about how amazing and cool he thinks he is to George, pretty much, as we're about to see in this episode. So get the greatness, have the happy times. You already know how the things go in here. And we're going to get the things rolling and starting right now. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, man. You already know how the things go on here, man. Every single Friday night, everybody. Yeah.
Sir Handel is very proud of his big sturdy wheels. They have broad tyres and hold well to the rails, but they are unusual. One day, the other engines wouldn't stop teasing him. "Look at his steamroller wheels," they joked. "Be quiet," snorted Sir Handel. "You're jealous." "Don't worry," soothed Peter Sam. "The engines all tease me about my special funnel until they learned how useful it is." "Did you hear that?" Sir Handel. "My wheels are special like Peter Sam's funnel. I can go faster than any of you." Skarloey had a plan to make Sir Handel see sense. "With your grand wheels, Sir Handel," said Skarloey, "you're just the engine to tackle George." "Who's George?" "That steamroller over there," replied Skarloey.
And there's George.
"Listen." The steamroller was making rude remarks about the engines.
And basically, after this episode, Sir Handel's gonna be they're gonna be doing the same thing to Sir Handel as they did with Duke, where he's just gonna be making cameos for some crazy reason, and they're just not gonna be talking about him anymore in the show. But they do bring him back, but he doesn't come back till season 9 of the show. So this is basically like his very last episode that they put him in this season. And they just don't use him after 5 seasons afterwards. They just wait 5 seasons to talk about him again, but when they talk about him in season 9, they change his character. But but that's okay, because we're gonna be getting introduced to some more new characters that'll probably be a lot more interesting and super amazing and cool. Let's continue on here.
"Railways are no good, turn them into roads. Pull them up, turn them into roads. Railways are no good, turn them into roads. Pull them up, turn them into roads." "Don't worry," said Sir Handel. "Leave him to me, I'll send him packing. George will soon get a run for his money." Later that morning, George was at the level crossing. He said. "You're Sir Handel, I suppose." Sir Handel was standing no nonsense. "And you, I suppose, are George, yes. I've heard of you." "And I've heard of you. You swank around with your steamroller wheels pretending you're as good as me." "Actually," retorted Sir Handel, "I'm better. Goodbye." George chuffed on, fuming.
Of course, that's gonna put George, in a super bad mood, especially because since Sir Handel said that he was a lot better than he is. So, now there's gonna, be a super big problem between the two of them, as we're about to see here in a couple minutes.
Later that day, Sir Handel brought a special load down after the last train had gone. When he reached the road, he saw George trundling home. Sir Handel tried to attract his attention. Beep, beep, beep. George took no notice. There was barely room to pass. Sir Handel was cross. Get out of my way, you great clumsy road hog. Huh. I don't move for imitation steamrollers, puffed George. They lumbered along as the insults continued. Then there was trouble. Ah, cried Sir Handel. That was your fault. No, it wasn't. It was yours. Everyone was arguing about who was to blame.
What's pretty super crazy, like in the book version of the Railway series of this story, they actually had Sir Handel's driver and George's driver arguing about who was the one that really caused the accident between Sir Handel and George. But they don't show it in the actual episode for some odd reason. But I just wanted to point that out, how they like in the book version they have the two drivers arguing about whose fault it was about the accident. But now we got this policeman guy who's trying to figure out how the accident ended up happening, and he's gonna try to get the things straightened out here between Sir Handel and George, pretty much.
Hello, 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 said a policeman ominously. And what's going on here? This made everyone stop arguing. They set to work clearing up the mess instead. Next day, the workmen put up a fence between the road and the railway. Then, they went away, taking George with them. Sir Handel thought he had made George go away.
Now Sir Handel's gonna go and brag to the other narrow gauge engines about George. But he's also gonna be in for a little surprise. He's gonna be in for a little surprise himself.
He talked of nothing but steamrollers. Oh dear, whispered Scarlowy. He's worse than ever. I'm sorry my plan was no good. Never mind, said Rusty. We'll think of something else. But they had no need to do that. Some boys arrived instead. They pointed to the engine and cried, "Look, here's Sir Handel. He tried to race a steamroller, but the steamroller nearly beat him." Sir Handel never mentions steamrollers now.
So that was episode 12, SteamRoller. And like I said, this is basically Sir Handel's very last appearance. Like I said, he makes a couple cameos, and then after those cameos, they just, they stop talking about him until season 9. So get the greatness, have the happy times. We hope that you enjoyed these nice, really crazy, funny episodes. And we will see you all on Sunday, where I'll be doing some gameplay of me playing my Paper Mario, the Origami King. I'll be making a video of me playing that. So get the greatness, and we'll see you all Sunday. And have the amazing happy times, everybody. Yeah.